current news podcast.
With Elu and Jesse.
Yes.
All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving headfirst into the world of Marvel's Thunderbolts.
And let me tell you, this is not your average superhero flick.
Not even close.
This is Marvel taking a deep dive into, well, the darker side of their universe.
Exactly. This movie is all about anti-heroes, folks. Those morally ambiguous characters who operate in the shadows, and we're so here for it. Plus, we'll unpack why this movie is a huge deal for the future of the MCU.
It really is a pivotal moment, the final chapter of Phase 5 and the launch pad for Phase 6.
Stakes are high, people, so we're talking about the big stuff. Who are these characters? What do we know about the plot so far? And why should you, the listener, be excited? Because trust me, this is one Marvel movie you won't want to miss. It hits theaters July 25th, 2025, by the way. But before you mark your calendars, let's start unpacking this thing. Now, when we say anti-heroes, we're talking about characters with a past, some baggage, some serious skeletons in the closet.
Oh yeah, we're not talking about your squeaky clean Avengers here.
Nope. These are folks who've danced on the line between good and evil, and sometimes they've crossed it completely. And get this. Marvel's assembled an all-star cast to bring these morally complex figures to life. I mean, we're talking A-list talent here.
Absolutely. We've got Sebastian Stan back as Bucky Barnes, Florence Pugh reprising her role as Yelena Belova.
Oh, Yelena Belova, everyone's favorite morally flexible assassin. Right?
Exactly. And then there's David Harbour, who we last saw as Red Guardian in Black Widow. Wyatt Russell is back as U.S. agent after his, shall we say, controversial stint in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Then we've got Hannah John Kamen returning as Ghost, and Olga Kurylenko as Taskmaster.
Whoa, 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 hold on a second. That's a lot of names, a lot of history, and a whole lot of potential for things to go boom.
Oh, you know it. But we're not even done yet.
Wait, there's more.
Buckle up. We also have Harrison Ford joining the MCU as General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross.
Okay, now that is just epic. We're talking about Han Solo, Indiana Jones himself, stepping into the MCU to wrangle this band of misfits. Talk about an inspired casting choice.
It really is. I mean, Harrison Ford brings this instant gravitas to any role he takes on. But there's one last character we need to talk about. Steven Yeun as Sentry.
Oh, yeah, Sentry. Now, this guy's a whole other level of complicated, right?
You could say that. I mean, we're talking about a character with the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns.
Okay, that sounds intense. I mean, we know the MCU has its fair share of powerful beings, but 1,000,000 exploding suns? That's a whole new ballpark. So who is this guy, and why haven't we heard more about him before?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. We'll dive deeper into his powers and backstory in a bit, but let's just say, Sentry might be the biggest wild card on this team. And trust me, when you have a team this unpredictable, anything can happen.
And that, my friends, is what makes Thunderbolts such a fascinating film. It's a glimpse into the darker, grittier side of the MCU, a world where the lines between hero and villain are blurred.
See, and that's the thing about the Thunderbolts. You've got these characters with incredible power, yeah, but they're also grappling with some heavy stuff.
Right, like their past is always right there, looming over them.
Exactly. Take Bucky Barnes, for example.
Oh, man, Bucky.
He spent decades as the Winter Soldier, a brainwashed assassin.
Talk about a tough act to follow.
Seriously. Now he's trying to find his place in the world, make amends.
But the scars are deep. You can't just erase that kind of trauma.
You know it. And then there's Yelena Belova, another product of that brutal Red Room training.
Oh, yeah. Yelena's tough as nails, a total survivor. But like Bucky, she's carrying some serious baggage.
No doubt. She walks this line between right and wrong, always questioning, never quite fitting in.
Which, let's be real, makes her one of the most interesting characters in the MCU right now.
Totally. And let's not forget about John Walker.
Oh, boy. U.S. agent.
The guy who tried to be Captain America but ended up, well...
Let's just say it didn't go so well.
Yeah. He wanted to be a symbol, but he let his anger get the best of him.
We've all been there, right?
Maybe not to that extreme.
True, true. But the point is, these Thunderbolts, they're not your typical heroes. They're flawed, they're complex.
And they're being led by General Ross, a man who, let's face it, isn't exactly known for his empathy.
Ross is a whole other can of worms.
He's all about control, about order.
Even if it means bending the rules a bit.
Or a lot. I mean, the guy has a history of doing whatever it takes to get the job done.
Which makes you wonder, what kind of mission is so important that he's willing to assemble this team of wild cards?
Right. What threat could be so big, so dangerous?
It's got to be huge. Right?
I mean, we're talking about the future of the MCU here.
And this is Marvel. They don't mess around when it comes to high stakes.
Exactly. So yeah, the mission is a big question mark.
But here's the thing. Even with all this secrecy, even with the limited footage we've seen, there are clues.
Oh, absolutely.
And one thing's for sure, things are going to get messy. It's like, on one hand, you've got this team of, well, let's call them anti-heroes who are trying to, I don't know, maybe find some redemption, right?
Trying to escape the shadows of their past.
Exactly. But then you've got Ross, who represents, like, the system, the authority, and he's the one pulling the strings.
And we know Ross, he's got his own agenda.
Always. So it makes you wonder, who is really in control here?
Right. Are the Thunderbolts pawns in Ross's game?
Or will they break free, forge their own path?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. And then there's Sentry, this like ticking time bomb of power.
Oh, we can't forget about Sentry. He's the wild card, the one element that could throw everything into chaos.
And not just any chaos, we're talking cosmic level chaos.
Yeah.
A million exploding suns, remember?
Exactly. He's got the power to reshape reality itself.
So, yeah, the stakes are high.
To say the least.
But here's the thing. That's what makes Thunderbolts so compelling.
Absolutely. It's the uncertainty, the potential for both incredible triumph and utter disaster.
We've got these complex characters, these moral dilemmas, this looming threat that could destroy everything.
And let's not forget those epic Marvel action sequences.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about a visual spectacle for sure.
This is going to be a wild ride, my friends.
It most definitely is. Well, folks, there you have it. Our deep dive into the world of Marvel's Thunderbolts, a team of anti-heroes, a world on the brink, and a whole lot of unanswered questions.
One thing's for sure, this isn't your typical superhero flick.
Thunderbolts explodes into theaters July 25th, 2025. Until then, keep those theories coming, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.
Turn the dial to the daily news. Turn the dial to the daily news. Turn the dial to the daily news. Bringing voices, headlines, and shoes. You turn the dial to the daily news.